Oceanside rider while she rolling the herb. Tide sucking up on the curb. Got this feeling to splurge. My sole purpose is to give you the word. Write these verses with that murder ain't no relation to herbs. Switching lanes for that shifting. 2 5 shots, still grooving this pandemic. I just played the cards, I'm dealt confident with it. King taking over this shit, monstrous vision. Never temper thoughts, I came from poverty stricken. One day at a time, can't rush greatness. My mind like plush Dayton's. 27 laps in this bitch.
What's up, everybody? This is Vic from the Fantasy Football League, where we talk stats and facts to help you win your fantasy football league.
Last week, we talked about tight ends. Mm-hmm. Running backs are a struggle this week.
Barren wasteland.
Another desert.
Struggle.
Sahara.
I mean, it is always like that. That's why they always make you draft a running back in the first couple of rounds.
It's not looking good. I tried to look for some prospects, and the waiver wire is just desolate.
I will say this year is different because last year, you started running back get hurt, the backup usually ball. Mm-hmm. This ain't guaranteed this year at all no more.
No.
People are getting signed on practice squads and taking the second string running back's job.
Yeah, that's why you got to, really dig deep, and you got to look at more than just the points. You got to read about these players, read about how they did in the preseason, even read how they did in college or what their combine looked like. All that stuff is important because then that'll help you figure out, okay, maybe this guy actually be a starter.
Yeah.
Given, God forbid, one of the starting running backs gets hurt. So.
Well, I got a list of running backs here. Mm-hmm. I want y'all to tell me, time to pull the plug or y'all still got faith in them?
All right.
We got the whole Broncos situation. Melvin Gordon, and then they signed Latavius Murray.
Listen, people picked up Mike Boone.
Yes.
And he didn't do anything.
At all.
Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray, yeah.
You already know the man's reliable.
He's a vulture.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a vulture. He's been a starting running back.
Nah, he a vulture.
He
did the same thing when he went to the Saints.
This year. When Mark Ingram was the second running back, and then they signed Latavius Murray from practice squad that one game. Latavius Murray had 2 touchdowns, I think. Yeah. Mark Ingram
he gonna
had
come
nothing.
in and he gonna steal them touches.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Melvin Gordon, it's just you can't trust anybody. Right as of right now, I wouldn't know what to do with the running backs. Mm-hmm. The Broncos running backs, I wouldn't even know how to trust them, honestly.
I mean, well, being that running back is so scarce, I don't say give up on them.
Neither one.
No.
Okay.
I actually, all
start?
3 of them, to be honest with you. I think, though, just off of the strength of how Latavius Murray, I get what y'all are saying that he's a vulture and he comes in and kind of steals that. But I'm saying back in his past when he was like a staple.
When the Vikings,
Raiders, he's been a capable running back.
Yeah,
and that's why he gets jobs everywhere.
Yeah.
So my thing is that it doesn't shock me when he came in and took that job once Javonte went out, and so the thing is that Melvin Gordon, he obviously had the inside track to being running back 1 for them, but we got to remember Melvin Gordon isn't Melvin Gordon that was 3 years ago, and Melvin Gordon of 3 years ago was a beast.
Yep.
But that's the thing about running back. Your shelf life is so short.
Yeah.
So the most intriguing person out of those 3, Mike Boone, is to me because he's the youngest. He's the pass catcher. And basically he's not your guy that you're gonna run up the middle, but he's fast.
That's true.
So you can do a lot with him. I think the reason he's not showing his value right now is because Russ is having a bad.
Yeah,
the Broncos are just struggling. Besides defensively, they're just struggling entirely. That doesn't count. You're right.
So I just think that Boone, obviously, people are going to overreact and drop him, but once it gets together, I can see Boone being, what's his name from the Patriots, that retired.
Retired.
The running back, White.
Yeah, James White.
James White. be a James White, you could be a Rex Burkhead, things like that. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have that role. He's not going to, but the reason why Latavius is being successful is because he's running harder than what Melvin Gordon
like he
is
want
doing.
the job.
Yeah, so he knows what it is. He knows his job since back in the day. He's not gonna wow you with catching the ball. He's just gonna run hard. He's gonna go up the hole and then try to get some yards. So you got to respect him. I think that's the reason why he ended up having a decent enough game, because they couldn't really throw.
Yeah, that's true. They're struggling entirely except for run games. Seems like the next guy. I think you have him on your team, Kyrie. Jeff Wilson.
Ooh.
Starting him next week.
Of course, I'm gonna start him.
Okay, so you still got faith. I think he had 0.5.
Matchup wise, it wasn't good because even what was it? Tevin Coleman didn't do anything either.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it was the IU game that day.
Yeah,
It was that.
Yeah,
Ayuk
balled out.
Oh man.
I mean, they obviously it was more of a passing game than it was run game. So definitely starting. I mean, he's still the RB1.
Yes.
So you have to start your starters. If you don't start your starters, you're making a mistake.
Gotcha.
My thing with it is that was a game script of a losing game. They lost that game. So Jeff Wilson is at his best when their run game is at its height, and when their run game is at its height is when they're up. So you got to just take an account of game script and how it goes. So if it ends up they're down or they're not competitive enough, and or the ground game wasn't working, they abandon it and they go to the pass game, and that's what ends up happening. And you got to remember, it's Jimmy Garoppolo, so the pass game, abandoning the run game and going to the pass game isn't always the best idea with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So I just think it was the negative game script because of the type of game it was for them. I mean, they lost to Atlanta, bro. Atlanta just is one of those. That's one of those weird teams that you expect them to be playing for a number 1 pick, bro.
Yes.
You expect them to be playing for a number 1 pick. These boys are 3-3. Whatever.
With Mariota at that.
The Dolphins are 3-3. I don't like that. So, anyways,
I agree. Jeff Wilson is the runabout one. Can't give up on him until it's consistently bad.
yeah.
Can't give up.
Or when Elijah Mitchell comes back, and then maybe they
they
do
might
that.
switch
But
it
then
up.
again, that's a short leash.
Yeah. Next one. Jamal Williams. DeAndre Swift is back this week.
Well, that was what they intended for him to be back.
Do you start Jamal Williams if Swift is back? After his struggles, he had a bye week this week, so the previous week?
Who are they playing? That's the question.
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends on who they're playing. If they're playing a team that gives up a lot of points to running backs, then you probably get away with starting either or.
You can start both of them in my mind.
Cowboys.
Cowboys? Oh, yeah.
In Dallas.
Don't start him.
Either one.
No, you can start Swift.
Just
the
don't
reason
start
you
Jamal.
don't start Jamal. The reason why I say that is because Jamal, you got to remember, Swift had the shoulder injury, right? You would assume that if it gets goal line situations, they're going to give it to Jamal because he's healthier, he's bigger, and Swift is a little bit more fragile in that sense. So you look at the game script, that defense is really good, and DeAndre Swift can simply just start catching out the backfield and kill people.
That's true.
So he still can have a really good game. He doesn't have to be a good runner to have a good game.
That's true. And Jared Goff has been issues with scoring his last game he played, so I think they're hungry to score more touchdowns. They were the highest scoring team. They lost it because of that one game, but they're definitely going to get some more touchdowns. Moving on to the next. Good old Chiefs running backs. CH struggles. Pacheco struggles. Pull the plug for now.
He's a starter, so you got to start him.
Got to start CH.
I have
I
to.
mean,
I have to.
he is most likely going to get the most opportunities to run the ball.
It just annoys me when you watch a Chiefs game and you just see how much they really are swapping
Players.
Jerick McKinnon in,
Yeah,
Pacheco
that's why I
in,
don't.
CEH.
I learned my lesson with them, and until they get that guy that is the baller for sure, the one that they're gonna get the ball to most of the time, who's gonna get his points. Until they got that, CEH is a hot and cold, and then he also has the issues with the injuries.
Yeah.
Then you got Jerick McKinnon who's balling, but that's based off a game script. You got Pacheco that they praised in the preseason, and he's shown some moments in the season that he can be a baller, but he's not getting nowhere near as many touches as he could.
No.
Where you can see that blossom. So it's like,
I believe last game he was third in touches.
yeah, like between the three of them running backs, you have to start CEH because he's a starter.
Mm-hmm.
But do you trust
Any of them?
No.
No.
And based off of matchups, if you have a better running back than CEH, you need to start that other running back.
Yeah, he's your bye week or you just don't have nobody else
Yeah.
kind of guy.
CEH? Nah. I mean,
No?
people will still start him as like a regular running back. It's the same kind
If
of
you
thing
got
with.
somebody better, though,
I mean, if you
you
like,
need
okay,
to start depending on the matchup.
Yeah.
So if like if the Chiefs are playing somebody that's really tough against the run, and I have another running back that has a better matchup, I'm starting that running back over CH. all day.
Even though CH is one,
Even
the
though
other
he's
running
one,
back has a better match. you're
I'm
gonna-
starting
yeah.
that person over.
So
CH.
are you talking about just like your two starting top running backs?
two starting top running backs?
Okay.
I'm starting if the Chiefs have a bad matchup, a tough matchup, as far as running backs goes, and I have a better running back that I can start ahead of CEH, I'm going to do it.
So for me, right, in my situation in our league, I have, for example, Christian McCaffrey. I have J.K. Dobbins. I have Brian Robinson. I have CEH. And do I have another running back?
I think you just named 4, right?
I have 4. Maybe I don't have another one. But basically, I trust Brian Robinson over CEH.
You have to. He's getting the touches.
And they just announced that he's going to be like the starter going forward, and Antonio Gibson is going to be the change of pace. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But point is, like, I could trust him more than CEH right now because I believe he's going to get the consistent touches.
Yep.
And when you're watching a Chiefs game, you see CEH in for 3 plays, then they convert a first down, and all of a sudden it's Jerick McKinnon. And then you get to the goal line, and it was CEH in the early beginning of the season.
Yes, it was.
So, and then next thing you know, now you're seeing Jerick McKinnon. I'm just like, yo. And then it's just touchdowns to Kelsey, touchdowns to random other receivers. It is what it is. But it's like they were struggling to run, and I understand they played the Bills, so I'm tempering how much I overreact on CEH. But you got to remember that it is a committee. Like, I think the whole entire Kansas City Chiefs, not just receiver core, not just running back, the only thing that is not a committee is tight end
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
and quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Brian Robinson. So you know who I'm going to bring up.
Oh, man.
Antonio
Many
Gibson.
men wish that the bomb.
I have him on my team. He balled out at the beginning of the season. But ever since 50 Cent came back in the game, Brian Robinson had 17 touches. I believe Gibson only had 7, 8. Now, I know what you're thinking. Get some pass catches. He didn't get that
Well, in
at all.
Thursday, he had a stretch. Not the whole entire game, but he had a stretch.
He got me less than 10 points.
No, I know. I mean, at this point, that's kind of what you're going to have to expect.
And that's the problem. I expect that, and that's a struggle now I have to face.
Yeah, so I
Because
mean,
Brian Robinson's
if
back.
you want, your production to be 10 plus, yeah, I understand. That's a problem. But Brian Robinson, you're looking at a good couple, maybe 3, 4, 5 catches a game, a couple yards here, maybe a couple carries.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna, unless he scores a touchdown, he's not gonna have like a whole giant value. And then you also remember, he may be a change of pace back now with Brian Robinson, but don't forget that McKissick is there.
Exactly.
And
Somebody
McKissick-
else.
and he is the true pass catching back.
I think even he got more touches at running the ball.
No, he's better. He's
Than Gibson.
at this point. I think it's sad to say because you drafted Antonio Gibson where you drafted him, but it's sad to say that you might need to go drop Antonio Gibson for McKissick because if you're gonna take
I can't do that yet.
I'm
I
just-
can't do that
I
yet.
feel
I
you.
hear you, but I can't do that yet.
because I would tell you this right now, McKissick drops at least 10 points, 9-10 points a game.
I want to promise you that if you was to drop Antonio Gibson, somebody gonna pick him up.
I mean, for
can't
sure,
blame
somebody will.
Somebody will pick him up.
I just don't think that unless Brian Robinson gets hurt, the rushing ability
Say it
isn't
again?
there. Brian Robinson.
Is he getting hurt, Curry?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't have enough history on him
He only got shot.
to know whether or not he's gonna get hurt.
He only got shot.
But I got enough history on like Julio and
Oh
but
my
anyway.
God! I knew this
Listen,
coming.
I understand. Julio, I already told you I gave up on Julio.
Remember I bet too 9 games.
Listen, I lost that.
If he
bet
don't
at this
play
point.
9 games, y'all paying me.
I didn't make this bet.
I don't
Ain't
remember
no
what was the bet though. I remember what the money
I think
was.
it was like $20, but
$20.
If Julio play 9 games,
That's y'all
out of the
two, not
18,
me.
I owe y'all 20. If he doesn't play 9, y'all owe me 20.
It's you two. It ain't me.
I'm saying y'all. so
Right
you-
now, he on pace to miss probably more than 9 games.
Oh,
Were we 6 games in? 17.
There's hope
games?
for
He probably
Julio.
only played 2 games.
I think 3. I think he played
He
3.
played 3. He ain't do nothing.
He ain't
One
do
of
nothing,
them.
but he played 3.
He did something in the first game, and that was it. Me and see Julio do anything since.
Let's talk about Falcons running backs. Cordell still on IR.
Mm-hmm.
Algier, how's his name?
Algier.
Algier. He ain't really step up as much as I thought he would.
Matchup.
Yeah.
Still matchup issues.
Yeah.
That matchup wasn't good for their running backs.
Well,
I looked at some of their future games in the schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and he should have better opportunities
Mm-hmm.
to score and get some more yardage.
yeah. So my thing is he's not your all-around back. He's not a generational running back. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys that they're going to end up pairing him with another running back, and they'll go with it. He's the runner, though.
Yeah.
He's a good runner.
Yeah.
I do think that, like Kyrie said, matchups probably messed that up for him. Similar to Brian Robinson, you're not looking at Brian Robinson as a pass catching
back?
Yeah, he's not a pass catching back. So what your production is yards and touchdowns. So pretty much the same
which is
situation.
what Jonathan Taylor's facing right now.
And,
Yeah.
and that's going to
Yeah.
limit you in the PPR league.
and that limits you. So, what I mean, like a lot of times when you're trying to evaluate running backs in the waiver wire, you're trying to assess the probability of them scoring. It's not even the whole like the yardage, because at this point when you're searching for a running back in waivers, you're looking for probability of scoring
That's
or
true.
injury replacement.
Yeah.
So once Cordell was on IR, there was Huntley, there was Algier, and I don't know whoever else there was. I feel like those are the 2 people that were
Those are the
only-
main 2.
Yeah. So I picked up Huntley just as a speculative ad in one league, and I dropped him. But I just figured, at the end of the day, you don't know what you got. So
Yeah.
you take
Which
a flyer on him, and if he ended up being the guy, because this is when Cordell went down initially.
Yeah.
If he ended up being the guy, you would have been happy.
Which this past week, Huntley did have more points than Algier, or he says his name, but it wasn't no crazy.
Yeah, I
difference.
mean, again, I don't know what's up with the Falcons, how they're winning games sometimes, but they're literally doing it and it doesn't look good. Like, I mean, obviously, yes, Pitt scored the touchdown, but it wasn't like it was a breakout game. And Drake didn't even have a big game from what I remember.
No.
It's like it's just all around pieces just randomly getting in. Marcus Mariota ran in a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nobody has Marcus Mariota starting. So
Let's talk about one more running back. Green Bay running backs. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. Green Bay struggling. Neither one of them did anything this week.
Still starting them.
Starting either one, if you have them,
More so Aaron Jones,
Jones.
over Dillon.
of course. Yeah.
If they have a good matchup, you might get away with starting both. Or either or. If
Or
you
either
have
or if you
one.
have different teams. Yeah.
But still a starter, still a baller. You still need to start him.
for AJ Dillon, I believe that he's one of those type of people that obviously he falls in the realm of a running back of the a backup running back. But I think when you look at AJ Dillon, he ends up being like a high tier backup running back. You know how people look at Alexander Madison as like a really good running
Yeah,
back too,
yeah.
if he was to be
Yeah. Khalil Herbert.
yeah, Khalil
like that,
Herbert,
yeah.
things like that, right? So my thing is that if there's a list of top backup running backs, AJ Dillon is there. And to my point is that I want to say AJ Dillon scored 9 points this week.
I think so.
So-
More than Jones for sure.
So he got 9 points, and if you're backup running back and you have a backup running back on your roster and they're scoring 9 points, I mean, that's not his consistent. Obviously, it's up and down sometimes. But if you have a backup running back and you have to start him, I think that you can't go wrong with the person that's scoring 9 points. You come away with a win. Now, Aaron Jones is a disappointment.
Yes.
Because obviously the whole Packers offense was bad, but you would expect somebody like the person that balled out in that game was Tanyan. So,
which I think was his first time this season
balling out like that to that level. Yes, I think so.
Listen, running back's a struggle. Like you said, it's a desert, a dry desert. If you didn't draft a running back first round, you might be struggling in that category.
That's why I always
You see,
go running
listen,
back first.
a lot of people going like the strategy of getting like the top receivers and things like that, and picking up running backs here and there. You can get away with it if you know what you're really doing,
If
and
you
know
really
and you
hit
know
a receiver.
And you have to hit on receiver, and you have to really know the right running backs to hit on. Like you can't go, receiver heavy and then pick up somebody like Antonio Gibson at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
and you honestly got a scheme that the back, like you said, the backup's going to take over, or someone's who's going to get hurt.
Exactly,
going to get hurt.
And so for me, when Brian Robinson was out there, he pretty much when I got that, I remember we were doing the auction draft. Brian Robinson was available. Well, no, we got the update that he was about to be the starter. My bad. We got the update that he was pretty much he had the lead track on being a starter, and they loved him at running back. I picked him up, and then I want to say the next day he got shot.
Yeah.
So sounds crazy, but yeah, next day he got shot. So, but the thing is that when you end up picking up on a player like that and you invest on it, that's why kind of for me when I picked him up earlier in the season and I went and stashed him, I remember somebody was like, "Why you picked up Brian Robinson? He ain't gonna do nothing." I was just like,
That's a person that didn't read.
They don't know.
They
You know what I'm
clearly didn't
saying?
read.
And if like Kyrie said, is you can go to your college tape, you can go to you could go to your college tape, your combine, past things, preseason, whatever it is. Same thing with Antonio Pierce. He, when you look at his tape in Florida, he was bullying people, and when you see him playing now, it's almost the same thing being translated. So
I got one prediction. I think I mentioned it last week.
What?
That Chiefs backfield, somebody getting hurt.
all right, Jared McKinnon.
I don't
If
wish
you
none
gonna
on
put
nobody.
voodoo on one of them running backs, put it on Jared McKinnon.
Somebody getting hurt, man. I know it's gonna come.
If I had to pick somebody, it had to be CEH, just to shake things up. I want to see Pacheco get more carries.
Nah, I don't
Let's
need
see what
nothing
it is.
shaking up. Because all that does is give everybody opportunity to go run to the waiver wire
get
and go
somebody.
scoop somebody. No,
Yeah.
no.
All I'm saying is, and I could be wrong on this, but in one of our leagues, I think Casper's league, I got Pacheco, and I'm trying to hold on to him.
Because the moment you drop him,
I feel like because this is what happened.
Yeah, I know.
I had Kenneth Walker in Casper's league.
I had him in the auction league too.
He was sitting on my bench for the longest time. The week that he broke out, I dropped him.
yeah.
I dropped him right before that week that he broke out. I got him back, but I also had Pacheco on my bench too. I don't want to lose him. If I drop Pacheco and CEH gets hurt, I'm going to be pissed.
And if that happens, we really got to pay attention to Kyrie drop. Because that means the starters getting hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want CEH to get hurt. I'm just saying.
Alex ain't feeling this at all.
Listen, they talked about Pacheco too. They talked too highly
Yeah.
of Pacheco in the preseason for this man not to
Do something.
be a baller and do something.
I hear that.
All that's gonna happen. All he waiting on is the opportunity. That's it.
I see. I wish I could say he too small, but CH too small too. So I don't
Yeah.
know what to tell you.
You know, if you don't draw a running back the first round, pay attention who's available.
That's really and truly the name of the game. You gotta find somebody that's gonna be consistent. Even when you're looking for play, you either gonna find somebody that's consistent or you're gonna find some players that you can stream. That's how you go to championships.
There it is.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Flow Football Podcast. Make sure you tune in for more fantasy football analysis. Like, subscribe, and follow for more content.
Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing. Embedded the drive, can't stop going. Catching all these blessings, open field like I'm T.O. It's free flowing.